Coach Lutz, the floor is yours. Opening statement, thoughts on the game.
Well, I mean, I think that it was a disappointing loss, obviously, for us. I think it's kind of a reoccurring theme as to what we've had as our problems, and we have not fixed those. And until we fix those on the defensive end, it's going to continue to be the same result. With that being said, I thought Oklahoma played well. I thought that they had something to do with our lack of offensive production, and give them credit. I mean, they shot the ball pretty well in the first half, and they had guys that came off the bench and produced, and that, hats off to them for that.
Questions for the players.
You mentioned the defense has been something that you guys have been talking about all season. Just sort of what's your mindset with that as you guys move forward?
Coming into this game, he stressed defending, getting stops, being in the right positions, and rebounding. And that was the two key components to the game, and we, as players, did not go out there and do that. So, that kind of sums it up. I think the next few weeks, I'm not the coach, he is, but I could think if we was in practice, it'll be a lot of working on rotations, rebounding, and just communicating where we're supposed to be.
I think in some ways a loss maybe helps spark that improvement on the defensive end?
I hope so. I don't think it should ever come down to that. You should want to go out there and play for coach and the rest of the staff and the fans, and just go out there and play defense and take pride in getting stops. But like you said, if hopefully the loss does spark the team to play better defense.
Christian, those two dunks that you had kind of sparked that offensive run in the second half to get it going. How did that kind of help your team?
Coach just stressed me about being an energy guy, going out there just playing hard, playing my game. So I just go out there and I try to do what's best for the team. Obviously, we got to get better on the defensive end, and I feel like it's going to start with me. Offense is going to take care of itself. We got a lot of great players. So we just got to tip our hats toward defense more than offense.
Kanye, can you talk about what Christian did? He had a little bit of a run there where he scored a lot of points that are going to get y'all back in it. Not just the two dunks, but three-pointers and layups. Can you sort of talk about his performance?
He's an impactful guy no matter where he's at on the floor, no matter how long he plays, no matter what sets you call or don't call for him. He's just an impactful player, man. He knows how to win. He came out there and made a lot of timely plays for us that were momentum boosters, and they kind of shifted some energy our way, and we did take advantage of those times. So he definitely came in and did what he's supposed to do.
What did you guys think of the rivalry game today, just the atmosphere and stuff like that? Have you played in a game like this? It seemed like both sides were really into it.
This players' question? Players' question? Yeah. Oh, it was cool. A lot of people told me about the rivalry. I'm from Virginia. I didn't know. So it was a very competitive, a good atmosphere to play in for any player. So.
It was a great atmosphere. I come from rivalry games, so I already kind of knew what to look for coming into this game. But I just wish you could have won, could have pulled it off.
Could you feel the emotion though? It seemed like you guys got pretty fired up a few times after some big plays and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. We knew the fans was on our side. We knew a lot of people came out to support us, and we just wanted to give them a show and bring a dub. But we didn't, so we just gonna move forward and go on to the next game.
For both players, I want to ask you just about how much interest do you have in the response after this game? What excites you about the response this team can put together after today's game?
One loss don't define your season. We have the chance to, if it was in my way, win the rest of these games and win a national championship. So we have a chance to go out there and go back and practice and fix the mistakes. And it's not that we don't know the mistakes. We know what we got to do. So, yeah, we got a good opportunity in front of us.
Yeah, basically just keep fighting. Just put one foot in front of the other. Like Kanye say, if we know what we got to do better if we want to win a national championship. So we just got to put one foot in front of the other, listen to Coach Lutz, and go out there and handle our business.
Kanye, when y'all went on a little bit of a run there in the last couple of minutes, what felt different offensively? Or I guess how were y'all kind of struggled earlier in the second half? What sort of led to that success offensively later in the game?
Ball down just to making shots. We weren't necessarily getting the shots that we wanted. I would say we was rushing a little bit on offense leading up before that point. But I would just say, we got talented players, man. People made shots when it was crunch time, or as you say. So that's all it boiled down to.
You guys played most of the game without Parsa. How did that change things out on the court?
Man, that changed a lot because obviously I had to play the 5, and Parsons a big body. He definitely clears the lane for us. He gets a lot of offensive rebounds. He gets a lot of duck ins and stuff like that. So that really would have helped us out a lot. And we was out of position a lot because I had to play the 5. So, but we'd have loved to have Parsons for sure.
Any other questions for the players?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Questions for Coach?
Steve, kind of building off the question I asked the players, just what excites you about the response that you expect out of this team after the first loss?
Well, it's going to be hard to answer that because we have to see the response, right? You've obviously covered us here all year long, and I've been continuing to talk about defense and intensity and discipline. And, tonight, you give 12 points in the first half to 2 subs off the bench, right? And it's not like we haven't discussed the fact that they are really good shooters, but you're not in a position to defend them, or you're a step late and you're giving them wide open looks. And those guys are good players. They're going to knock down those shots. So we'll find out Monday. We're going to be off tomorrow, but we'll find out Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday how we're going to respond. It's hard for me to answer that right now. With that being said, they're good guys, and I would expect nothing less than for them to give their best moving forward.
Steve, you were kind of nodding there when Christian was talking about Parsa. How impactful was it to not have him on the floor?
Well, I mean, it does 2 things, right? Losing Parsa does 2 things. It puts Chris and Lefteris out on the floor in positions that they're not normally at. With that being said, I thought that Millie did a good job in the second half with Parsa being out. But Parsa also gives us a really good presence around the rim offensively, and he does a good job of covering things up defensively, especially when people beat off the bounce. He does a good job rotating. So, would I have loved to have him? Of course. I mean, he's been playing really well as of late, but he got hurt. And if you're a good team, or if you're as good a team as you think you are, you've got to step up and fill that void. But unfortunately, we did not, especially on the defensive end.
Coach, what do you think of the ball movement tonight?
I thought the first half we took a lot of selfish shots. In the first half, we had 4 assists on 13 made baskets, which tells me that we're playing way too much one-on-one. Second half, we had 7 assists on 14 made baskets, which tells me we're sharing the ball. We've been sharing the ball at a probably 50% rate pretty much the entire year. So that's on us. That's on us.
Steve, what do you think of the atmosphere and just the crowd in general?
Yeah, do we have a final tally on attendance? I've not seen it on the stat sheets.
We'll wait until the women's games.
Guessing? 10-5. Yeah, I thought whatever was here was fantastic. I mean, it was loud for Oklahoma when they were on a little bit of their run. It was loud for us when we were on a little bit of run. I thought at 11:32 when Porter took that timeout, I thought our fans finally got off their feet and really cheered us on. With that being said, it's not their fault. We didn't give them a whole lot to cheer for in the first half, But we've had great fans all year long, and I expect us to continue to have those. Our season's not over. I mean, I'm disappointed and I'm extremely angry that we lost, but we've got to get it fixed moving forward because we have bigger aspirations.
Do you like this setup for this game, or would you prefer to see it go back to a home?
Well, maybe we should try a new venue because we hadn't shot the ball well at Paycom either year. I want us to continue to play Bedlam. I've told Porter straight up, we can play it at Norman and Stillwater. We can play it at Paycom and Tulsa. We can do whatever, but we need to switch this rotation year by year, in my opinion. But no, absolutely, I'm all for keeping Bedlam, guys. This is good for our state. It's good for basketball, and man, we had an opportunity to be on a national stage today and play well, and we just didn't do it.
Steve, I feel like I need to ask you, was the moment too big for your team this year?
I was waiting for you, pal. I like your sweater, by the way. No, the moment wasn't too big. The moment wasn't too big, but we didn't rise to the occasion again. At the end of the day, you get measured on rising to the occasion. You can be 9-0 all you want, but if you don't win Bedlam, there's gonna be a little distaste in your mouth, and that's on us. And especially when you play through your offense, right? And I've talked over and over about playing through our defense and winning grimy games. You know, again, I referenced 11:32 to go in the game. Porter calls a timeout. The crowd's into it. The rebounding from that point on, we were -10. We were -10. You look at the last 15 possessions of the game, they scored on 12 of 15 possessions. That's unheard of. Now, we scored on 9 of 15, which is not great either for them. But the fact of the matter is you have to be able to defend. You have to be able to rebound. Doesn't matter if you're playing at Iowa State or you're playing in Paycom. You got to be able to do it. And you got to be able to do it at a high level in the biggest games. That's where you're defined.
What was sort of the plan with Parsa today? He's obviously pretty limited in the first half. Just
yeah, you know, I mean, yesterday he went down in practice, and there's no. We had an MRI at 11 o'clock. He got back over here. He rested. He got on some meds. The training staff and the doctors did a good job getting him ready. It was. Hey man, you want to play? And he says, yeah, of course, because Parsa's a tough kid and he's a competitor, and he tried. Just he didn't have it. He didn't have it.
Some of the pick and roll struggles that you guys had late defensively, is some of that on, you know, Chris not having to guard?
Yeah, well, you
man
put Chris into different positions, but to be very honest with you, the Tay Davis dunk at the end, that's because we're not matched up correctly. Like, you can't leave the timeout and I tell you, and I'm not going to say me for example, per se, because I have a defensive coach that does it, and they tell you to guard Wagyu, and you go and guard Tay Davis. Like, you're just not concentrating on the defensive end, and that has nothing to do with coaching. Like, very seldom are you ever going to hear me throw guys under the bus, because it all falls on me. I'm the head coach here. But when you walk out of that huddle and you've been given directions and you don't execute those directions, man, you got to take some ownership in that.
Kanye mentioned it shouldn't have come to this, but do you think there's a world where losing a game finally sparks the defensive effort moving forward?
It better, or we're going to find some different guys to play. I mean, that's where we're at. Like, we can't keep doing the same things over and over, saying the same things over and over. I mean, you're not going to get a different result if you keep doing the same things. It's definition of insanity, right? That makes no sense. So we've got to find some guys that are going to buy into the defensive end, that are going to be gritty and tough and disciplined and show some heart, right, on a daily basis. But that starts in practice, because I've told you guys over the last couple of weeks, we've got to do it in practice. That's where you want me to start believing in you? Do it in practice.
You mentioned in the preseason that there could be some stretches where you guys play smalls. Or sort of, what did you think of having Chris at the 5? Obviously not the ideal.
Yeah, I mean, I liked playing Lefty and Chris together. I liked playing Chris at the 5. I mean, he obviously poses some matchup issues for them as well, and I thought Chris did a good job. I mean, Chris is more a 3 than he is a 5, but he's athletic enough, and when he competes, he's a good player. So you can play him, you know, almost like a little bit of a Swiss Army knife. But I liked it. I've told you before that I like playing small and guys that can shoot and spread the floor. Just tonight, defensively, we didn't do it. But we didn't. The problem with what I'm saying is we didn't do it when we had the normal lineups in on defense either. We just didn't do it defensively. Therefore, we lost.
Steve,
Sounds like maybe
Last couple questions.
I know you talked about a lot of, a lot of the issues. You said these are things you've been harping on all year. You've told us before when we've talked to you. Are there growth opportunities maybe from this game that you saw, maybe mistakes or just opportunities you missed today that you think the team can learn from today? But besides the stuff you've sort of been preaching all year?
Yeah. I mean, there's always the light at the end of the rainbow, right? We have a good basketball team. Obviously, we can score the basketball, but we can be good defensively too. If you're athletic enough and you're talented enough to go score on the offensive end, you're certainly athletic enough and talented enough to defend. It's a mindset, and we have to have more of a workman-like mindset moving forward.
Sounds like maybe a wait-and-see type thing with Parsa's back injury then?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Steve.